This is Mr. Huff, and let's take a look at the residence code requirements. PLTW has provided us some snippets from the 2012 residence code, and I would normally ask you to go look some of this stuff up, but just to make things quick, we're going to use that as our residence code for electricity. There is a link provided. It goes to nothing, so don't worry about the link. We just need this document. So we're going to start with receptacles. There's a lot of language in here, so I want to go through and talk about the things you need to know and pay attention to as far as your design. So you can read through this in great detail if you want, but the main thing you need to take away from this section is right here for your receptacles. These are your outlets along the wall, also referred to as duplex outlets. These are going to be spaced every 6 feet. So if you look at a wall, you need to have, from corner to corner, you need to have an outlet at least every 6 feet, not more than that. And they have a diagram up here that kind of is confusing. So what I want to see in your home designs is in your habitable spaces, you need to have like your living room and your bedrooms. You need to have your den and media room or whatever. You need to have an outlet every 6 feet. So that's the main thing. They don't, not further apart than that. And that's just along the wall. So that's your spacing there. All right, so we're going to go to the next one. When we get into kitchens, and they've got a lot of descriptions here, main thing I want you to notice is as you go across the countertop, what we're looking at, the countertop along the wall, we are going to do this. We're going to follow this rule, simplify it. 12 inches from the end, and then every 2 feet along the wall. So if it's 2 feet from a corner, and the next wall, make sure it's 2 feet from the corner. So you can kind of, the main thing I want is on the countertops in your kitchen, anywhere there's a countertop, you have an outlet every 24 inches. Since most of you are using kitchenettes, it's not going to be real difficult. You're only talking about a handful of plugs. And then if you have an island or countertop there, you need one outlet every 2 feet along that as well, okay? Let's keep going. So far, 6 feet apart in all the rooms and 2 feet across countertops. All right, so appliance receptacles. This is the outlet behind the appliances. Let's talk about those a little bit. You'll have an electrical outlet behind your, just a duplex plug behind your washer, and you'll have one behind the refrigerator. Behind your range and behind your dryer, you need a 240 outlet. I think in the video, I just asked that you use the range plug. You'll use that for both of those. So the dryer is going to be 240, and the range will be 240. So behind your oven, you need a 240 volt outlet. In your bathroom, what is this saying? All right, this says if you have a sink, you need to have an outlet within 3 feet of that sink. And it has some more discussion there, but that's the idea. So if you have an outlet, a sink, you need to have an outlet within 3 feet of that. That's the reason. The reason is most bathrooms, they have a lot of appliances being used, so you need to have a place to plug those in. We'll have more about those wet space outlets in a moment. Outdoor outlets, you need one in the front and one in the back, and then there's some other things, like if you have balconies and porches and stuff, you need to have one for each of those. So you need to, that's kind of the thing there. So you will have some exterior outlets, usually one in the front and one in the back. Usually put those close to the doors. If you have a patio or a deck, you need to have one out there accessible for that as well. Laundry areas, you need at least one outlet that can serve your laundry appliances. Again, we've specified 2 outlets that you need to have in your laundry room, a 110 or a 120 for your washing machine and a 240 for the dryer. Hallways, if you have a hall that's more than 10 feet long, then you need to put an outlet in that hallway, okay? I don't think anyone has a hall that's 10 feet long. Most of you are working with rooms in very short hallways. Foyers, if it's larger than 60 square feet, you need to have a receptacle in that as well. So GFI outlets, you need to have anywhere that's going to have water in it, or if it's exterior or sort of exterior, you need to put a GFI, make those outlets GFI. So all your bathrooms, any outlet you put in there needs to be GFI. And garage and accessory buildings, so in your garages, you would use GFI plugs in there. And then I think in the garages, just put your outlets along one wall. So it's normally the wall that would have a workbench or whatever. You normally don't have outlets next to the cars. If you do, it's like one per wall. Then on your outdoor receptacles, that has to be GFI, and any receptacles in your kitchen or on your islands, they have to be GFI, and any outlet close to a sink has to be GFI. The reason is uh, ground fault interrupt protects you from getting electrocuted when there's water involved. So basically what it's doing is it has the two sides of the plug. You have the neutral side and the hot side, and then you have a ground. And what it's looking for is if it has 120 volts going on one side of the plug, 120 volts needs to come back in. If it's going anywhere else, it's going to trip and protect whatever is taking that electricity. So they're designed to protect you. Your breakers are designed to protect your house from catching on fire, not to protect you, okay? Then lights. You're going to have every room that is habitable will have at least one light switch controlled outlet in there. So what we're going to do is put a ceiling fixture. So you'll have the lights on the wall and show how the wiring goes to the middle of the room to connect to the fixture. And in the video, I give you an example of that. Also, garages that have electricity, you need to put fixtures in those. And then what's this one? Next to your doors on the outside, your front door and your back door, you will have a switched fixture next to those. Normally, the switch is on the inside and the light is on the outside, all right? And then also I want to remind you that Habitat for Humanity requires closets to have lights in them. So the switch can be inside or outside the closets. Some closets will include a switch in the door frame so that when you open the door, the light comes on. So that's a real quick run through of outlets and lights. Thank you for watching.